All right, hello and welcome to Swing It and Ding It, an iHeartMedia podcast.
I mean, this is a birdie fest.
It's a Philly show, baby.
Philly
Let's go.
That's right. Welcome in to Swing It and Ding It. Moose along with Harry Mays. No Danielle Matthews as of yet. She may just appear out of the down Magnolia Lane, just show up. But we're finally here after what seemed like the longest winter, the longest wait. We are in Masters Week, and there's nothing like it, Harry. Yeah. The greatest week in golf. Every day is something. Every night you're looking at social media and coverage, and you just can't get enough of this stuff.
No, you can't. And it's the first major of the year, and if you consider the Players a major, it's very close. But it's like the start of the golf season in the Northeast. That's really also what it signifies. It's like the weather is starting to get to be where it's not going to feel like it's in the 40s when you go out there and try to play a round of golf. When you're looking at these temperatures, like, oh, there's a 5 in the first number. Oh, this is going to be a good day. And then you go out there and it's 52, feels like 42 because there's like a 20-mile-an-hour wind. So those days are almost behind us, and this signifies the real start of the golf season in our area.
That's right. We're almost there. And of course, for big weeks, we bring in the big gun, our friend Ryan Ballengee of Golf News Net fame. Ryan, welcome back to Swing It and Ding It, man.
Thanks for having me on. It's the best week of the year, as you guys said. I mean, I'm down here in Myrtle Beach this week. My kids were on spring break, so we decided to come down here for this. And we had false spring. We have false spring in the Northeast all the time. It was the worst winter I can remember in a long time. I mean, I haven't had a power bill that high in January, in forever. So it really feels good to get here and get to April.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, we're going to dive into everything Masters, but just give us an update on in your world, Golf News Net. What's going on? Everything looks great, sounds great. What's happening on your end?
Yeah, things are going pretty well. We're trying to get a new OTT, a new seat connected TV app platform launched that will be called Watch Golf. Just trying to get that out there to the world. We'll have kind of a select group of partners that we curate great content from, just like we do on GNN Radio and have done for the last several years there, almost 4 years, getting close to 4 years now for GNN Radio. So we're going to do the same thing for kind of TV and video content. Really excited about that. That's kind of the next foray, but things just keep humming along. Just put your head down and keep working.
That's right.
That's awesome. Now, tell me, please tell me, I know you're with your kids, but please tell me you're playing some golf down in Myrtle Beach this week.
No, I'm not. I did not. It's interesting. It's like 65 degrees here today. And it's kind of been like that the whole week. I mean, it's been lovely. We've gone to the beach a bunch of times. But I coach high school golf now. This is my second season coaching high school golf. And I feel like we have 14 matches in basically 40 days worth of time. And I've just kind of realized I have to give up playing golf for about 2 months to do that. So I have a new sim space in my garage. I've been hitting balls in there. That's about as close as it gets right now.
So you don't get to play? Because I'm friends with a local guy who coaches golf, and he plays with the other coach, and they can't coach during the round. So basically they just get 9 holes in each match.
So we actually can speak to the players. We play 12 holes of match play. We kind of have a unique format. So we have 6 kids on each team, and they play 6 individual matches. And then in those 3 foursomes, they have a better ball match. But we, as coaches, are allowed to advise and consult with the players competing. So that's really the fun of it, is not having to sit back and watch it, but to kind of get them to think through how to hit shots and situations. And it makes it a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, right before we get into the Masters, let's just talk about a couple other things. We talked about it last week. To me, you had the worst story of the year in golf and the best story in the game of golf happen within a couple days of each other, right? So let's just touch on starting with Tiger and then obviously talking about Gary Woodland. Where were you when you heard, right? Kind of thing. Like what was your reaction when you saw this Tiger news break?
So I was editing a couple of videos for Golf News Net, and a buddy of mine, Brian Taylor, who hosts a radio show called Real Golf Radio out in Utah with Billy Casper's son, well, one of them, Bob. He texted me, "Hey, you see this tiger thing?" And I was like, "No, really not paying attention." He goes, "You should turn on Golf Channel." And then obviously it became pretty apparent what had happened. And go, "Oh no, not again." I think that was the worst part of the reaction, is not again. Not.
Yeah.
I mean, I can remember the 2009 stuff like it was yesterday, but to have it again, just go, "Oh, come on, man! Like you just did TGL, like." Things were just starting to sound like they were maybe going better, and then this happens.
Yeah.
And it just terrible situation. Not only from a momentum perspective for the guy, but just you're endangering human lives out there.
Yeah.
The bottom line, I don't care if
Yeah.
you're doing that. You're endangering human lives doing that kind of thing out there.
Yeah. Yeah. And then obviously we had the timeline cleanse of Gary Woodland saving the golf world with just an incredible story, an incredible win. I know you've covered it, his journey along the way. Just really cool to see how that, played out for him as he continues to, battle through what he's going through.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not be happy for a guy who's been through, it sounds like, hell and back, and still kind of going through hell? I mean, he's talked this week, talked yesterday at the Masters, said, "Yeah, I mean, I won and that's great and everything, but 2 days later was a hard day. I had a lot of media obligations. I'm in a place now where there are a ton of people." I mean, he said specifically, "Thank goodness this is like the safest golf tournament in the world." Yeah. Even though there are a ton of people here, it can be a little easier for me to kind of accept what I've gotten myself into by winning. So yeah, there are going to be good days and bad days. That was a great day, but there's still a long way to go for him. And I think it takes a lot of courage to acknowledge that and to kind of unburden yourself with that. And I'm glad that the people have responded so positively to him opening up like that.
Yeah, I think he's going to be anxious to get to Amen Corner, because that's where the crowds can't really get all that close to you when you're down there on 12 green and 13, right?
Yeah, he kind of talked about that and said, that's kind of the, and whoever it was, I don't know who's been asking this question, but has asked a lot about the quiet of Amen Corner to different players over the last couple of days. And his answer was fascinating from that kind of, "Hey, I'm going through PTSD perspective of, it's no one can reach you. No one's near you. It's just you for a few minutes." And that's something he kind of needs, right now.
So, I mean, it's got to be just so hard because you're the only one. I mean, there's no one that's out there with you that can really relate to what's going on, right? Like if you're out there and you have a back injury, right, you can talk to people. It's like, "Oh man, I hear you, man."
I've had that.
Right. Yeah. When you're going through something that you don't want to tell people about, feel weird telling people about, and then knowing no one can relate to what you're going on, I just can't imagine what that guy's going through. And the fact that he's just getting out there and playing and winning a golf tournament is just incredible. It just shows you how talented he is. And you just can't help but just root for the guy at every turn. And yeah, I mean, talk about a place that feels like a safe haven. Augusta National. I mean, it just feels like a cove of happiness and joy, right? Like so hopefully he gets some good results.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that it was almost 7 years since he won that U.S. Open back at Pebble Beach. I mean, I remember him walking up the 18th fairway, like it was just a few years ago. It's going on 7 years this June.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly time flies. I mean, everyone told me as you got older that time goes quicker, and it just feels like, I mean, I was thinking about not only Gary Woodland winning, but the 2019 Masters, Tiger winning. Right. That was 7 years ago. That's amazing to me. How did that happen so quickly?
That's when we launched this show, basically. It was like seeing that just like got me so pumped up for golf, and just, was the genesis of starting this show.
That was your inspiration, Moose.
It was. Yeah. It was. It sure was. Yeah. Well, another interesting story was JJ Spaun. Right. He has 7 starts in 2026. He only made 3 cuts. T24 was his best. He was among the 10 worst putters on the tour. And then he comes out and just gets that win out of nowhere. 1-shot win over Matt Wallace, Michael Kim. Best follow on Twitter, by the way. Make sure you're following Michael Kim, especially this week, and Robert McIntyre, Big Shot Bob. He wins in 2022. This is his 3rd win overall. And you think about that putt he made to win a major, and then thinking that he's among the 10 worst putters on tour. You're like, what the heck happens? What can happen to these guys? But what do you think about JJ Spaun and kind of that little resurgence and how that can help him this week?
Another guy I'm really happy for. I mean, he he tells it how it is. He tells how his experience is. It was really interesting for him to say, I kind of changed my mindset to a bad way now that I'm a major champion and there's an expectation that I'm a top 15 player in the world and I'm supposed to do this and I'm supposed to contend more often, and kind of got away from what made last year his best year ever, which was lowering the bar, lower expectations, not so much pressure. Don't worry about it. Just kind of do it. And then kind of got back to that this week. And the putting numbers don't lie. I mean, I think he was 16th in strokes gained putting last week. That's a good formula for a guy who's a great ball striker. If you can handle it tee to green and then see some putts go in the hole you don't expect, you got a chance to win. And I also probably think it helped that it was a marathon day on Sunday. Yeah. It wasn't your standard golf tournament where you got to wait and you got to play from the back group or charge from behind. You had no idea. It was basically a shotgun start tournament for the third and fourth round. And maybe that kind of helped a little bit, knowing, hey, I just got to go for it and see where it leads me in the end.
Yeah, I affectionately refer to him as the Muppet. But I was glad to see him get another win. He must like cowboy boots. He's got 2 pairs of cowboy boots from that tournament. And, it's his 3rd PGA Tour title, his first since that U.S. Open you're talking about. I like to see guys that win a major sort of validate it with more wins. So I'm rooting for J.J. Spawn, to win more golf tournaments. He's got this mantra. Did you guys hear him referring to that? He just kept going back to his mantra, he said, which is basically tough conditions make you stronger. Stay in it, let it go, free it up, and golf is just golf, were some of the things that he goes through with the mantra. I kind of like it. I think that could apply to a lot of us regular people.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not lying. Any other big takeaways from you, Harry, from Valero, Texas Open?
Ludwig kind of, fell apart again towards the end of a tournament. I know he birdied the final 2 holes, but it wasn't enough. I mean, he just couldn't find any fairways. Made too many bogeys. I thought that was kind of interesting because, man, that guy can just light up a scoreboard. You think he's out of it, and then all of a sudden it's birdie, 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 and he's right back in it. But then he's missing fairways left, missing fairways right. He's in the trees, in the cactus, the bushes. It was an adventurous round. I watched all of it. I was really. I didn't play golf on Sunday because the weather was lousy here. So I was really into this tournament for maybe the first time since Jordan Spieth won it years ago. But that Ludwig Oberg, again, sort of fallen by the wayside on the final day, stood out to me.
JJ gets the range win, Harry. Where do you rank the range win as far as levels of winning? I think when you find out you won on the range, I think it's like,
yeah, right.
When you putt first, right, and then the other person misses and you win is a weird win.
It is,
right. The range win is, I think, the weirdest though.
Right.
It's you, your caddy, and a camera.
Yeah, your caddy might be watching it on his phone, and you're hitting a 7-iron, and all of a sudden, hey, dude, you won.
Yeah, like you're trying to pay attention to how you're hitting the ball, and you're not paying attention. It is a strange win. I mean, a win is a win, but man, that 6-footer, to drain to get the win, and I mean, it's just such a different level when you see the reaction on these guys. It's crazy.
It is. And how tough was that 18th hole that day with the wind blowing directly in their face? It's a 600-yard hole that was playing 700. I really got to give a shout out to NBC. They had this wind meter down in the lower right-hand corner, showing you the yardage. And then as the wind would go up and down, all right, now it's playing 700. Now it's 693. I mean, that's a bear of a hole. When these guys are hitting like mid-irons in for their 3rd shot. Yeah. Tour pros. I mean, that's like what I do. It was unbelievable. And then Bobby Mack toe hooked that fairway metal over near the grandstand. He had to take a drop and hit out of the mud. Came up a little bit short, didn't get it up on that plateau on the green, and that screwed his day. But man, it was exciting.
It was.
Yeah, great tournaments leading to the Masters. I mean, you can't ask for at least a more compelling finish, and just kind of the barrage of, all right, well, there's like 6 guys who could win. Can any of them do anything?
Yeah.
And the guy who did it was the guy who played the drivable par 4 the best and made the eagle and made something of it. So Good for him. That's a great way to get into the Masters.
Yeah, and Matt Wallace almost got it done. There's a guy who's getting close to knocking one down.
I know.
He finished like 2 hours before the finishers. Imagine sitting around all that. You can't hit balls for 2 hours. Like, what do you probably have lunch or something, and you're just sort of sitting there.
And he's a great conditions guy. I mean, he won in Punta Cana a few years ago, and in very difficult, windy conditions. I mean, a resort course is a little more difficult of a test, but when it's windy, you should think about Matt Wallace, especially in these kind of standard 500-point FedEx Cup point events. He can play in the wind.
Well, we are here now in the Masters, and it doesn't look like wind or weather is going to be a factor at all. A very interesting, just dry week. They were complaining this morning about how it's a little cool. I'm like, looks like it's like 60-some degrees there. Warmer on the weekend, but very little wind, no chance of rain. It's going to be firm. A lot of talk about the best iron players are going to excel here because of the shots you have to make. But we are finally
the short
here,
game guys,
and the short game guys. For sure.
They're going to miss a lot of greens. They'll hit them and then they'll roll off. And you got these guys that can really chip are going to be, good guys to put in your lineup. Yeah.
We'll see the line with our friends from BetParx because I think it's so interesting to me where Rory sits on this board. You got Scotty right now as of this morning on BetParx at around 500, Rahm at 900, Bryson 1050, then Rory at 1175. It's like, when do you not see Scotty, Rory back to back? I know having the live guys changes things, but defending champ, I mean, I see it. He looks to be enamored with all of the post-winning celebrations, and maybe the focus isn't going to be there, and that's what the betting board is seeing. But Ryan, going into this week, I mean, there's a ton of storylines we can get into. Obviously Patrick Reed, Scotty, right? Only player with a top 10 in his last 4 starts, but has missed a little time, had another child. Is his game there? What are the big things that are jumping out to you this week where you're looking first?
I mean, right at the top is, John Rahm statistically is the best player in the world by strokes gained this year. And it's not even, frankly, all that close. I mean, if you look at the data golf numbers that they give to Live Golf, he's something like 2.69 strokes gained per round. The next best guy is Jake Knapp at 2 flat, basically. I mean, that's a lot of strokes over 4 days. 0.7 strokes around is a lot of strokes. But yet he only has 1 win. And the guy he lost to in the last Live event is the guy who won the last 2 Live events and has been playing fabulous golf and got close here last year, in Bryson DeChambeau. Then you have to think about Rory, as you mentioned. There's only 3 guys who have ever defended this title, and they're all-timers, right? They all won at least 3 Masters, Faldo and Tiger and Jack. So I thought it was so interesting that Rory said yesterday, I don't care if they ever play this tournament ever again because I won one. Right. I mean, he still cares, right? He still wants to win more, but he doesn't have to ever try to win the first one ever again. Is that a good thing? Does that make you better?
Does that free him up?
Does it free you up? Because, I mean, from what happened 15 years ago and that first attempt to win to now, winning in the 17th start, does that all go away all of a sudden because you finally did it? Or does it come back to haunt you in a different way now that you've won it? I don't know. I'm very interested to see how that happens this week. And then and Scotty, as you mentioned, having Remy now 9 days old. Well, I guess 10 today. I don't know, 10 or 11 days old. He really wasn't driving the ball very well the last few times that we saw him. And I don't know if this has given him time to work that out, or maybe he just hasn't worked as hard. And sometimes when you don't push yourself as much to figure out the answer, you just go back to the default answer, which is really good, right? I mean, he has historically been a great driver of the golf ball. So maybe you could stop thinking about it, just get out there.
I think we'll know in the first 9 holes.
Yeah, he's been getting off to such a bad start.
It's been rough starts for him, right? And and then you're like, oh, but here he comes, and just didn't have enough time to catch back up. I think in the first 9 holes of this tournament, we're going to know what the chances are for him.
Yeah, I mean, if you played the best 54 of 72, he probably have won 3 or 4 starts so far this year, but that doesn't work that way. So I think he's got to figure out how to get out the gate, like you guys said, and just not make a mess of it. Right. The Tiger's old mantra. You can play your way out of it on the first day, but you can't win it on the first day. So get out there, figure out a way to shoot 70, 69, something like that, and just move on with your life.
Any of the go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Any of the groupings stand out to you? Because when I saw the tee times come out yesterday, I'm like, imagine the nerves on Mason Howell, the amateur who won the U.S. Amateur. He's going to go to Georgia. He's not even in college yet, but he's scheduled to go to Georgia, and he's teeing it up for his first Masters ever with the likes of Cam Young off the Players win and Rory McIlroy, who everybody is focused on. Imagine the nerves on that first tee. I can't. It's like me teeing it up at Pine Valley for the first time. I was shaking like a leaf.
I mean, I appreciate the Masters highlights amateur players and puts them in positions like this and doesn't just bury them in the worst tee times.
Right.
But man, that's got to be miserable. Your first real experience with 50,000 people watching you play golf is this.
Yeah. There'll be nobody following that group.
He's a teenager. He's a kid.
Yeah.
And he was great at the amateur. He was great in the Walker Cup. But those are different things than this. And I'll be very interested to see how he does because he is a phenomenal player. But like you said, he's got some interesting company for the first 2 days.
Yeah. Harry, it's all about the course, right? It's all about Augusta National. What's jumping out to you this year? It's always a thing, right? What happened? Did anything change? Is this, how's this playing this year? Like what are the stories that you're seeing here, Harry?
Well, I mean, I don't need to go through these holes. If you're listening to this podcast and you don't know this golf course by heart, I got nothing for you. The second 9 is just probably the most iconic piece of geography in golf in the world. Okay, the whole adage is that the tournament begins on Sunday, on the back 9. They call it the second 9 at Augusta. If I was on the broadcast team and said back 9, I'd be kicked out of the tower. But the second 9 to me is just unbelievable. And I wanted to ask Ryan, what is your favorite hole on the second 9? And then the first 9 is like there's 9 of the most unbelievable holes too. But it kind of gets overlooked because of everything that goes on and the fireworks and the changes and the volatility in the leaderboard that can take place in those final 2.5 hours from when they maybe get to 12T until they get to the 18th tee.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for a good par 5. I love 13 and I love 15, and just because it's right out there in front of you. Can you hit a big sweeping draw on 13? And now hit a mid-iron, long iron in because of the way the wind's going to be this week. A lot of the players said they think most of the field will be able to try to get there in 2 every day. I think that makes it more interesting versus what it plays into. And then 15 is just, it's so brilliant, but so simple of hit it over the water, hit this green. It's going to be massively firmer this year because they're going to try it out.
Yeah.
And if you go deep, you're going to be in the water on 16.
Yep.
Somehow. It's the conditions are going to make that hole so much more interesting this year as well. And I kind of put together my ranking of the 18 holes of Augusta in order of my favorites. And you can make any argument you want, but please don't tell me number 7's in like the top 5 or whatever. But 16 is such a brilliant hole. I mean, especially with the Sunday flags where they typically are. Every once in a while they throw it up on the shelf on the right, and that's not the way to do it. But when it's down there on the left, whether it's the Tiger pin or in front of it, the Jack 86 pin, either of those are so good. And it just is a brilliant finish. 17 is what it is, although that green is very tricky. Very hard, and I don't think people realize that on TV. And that's the only hole that's been lengthened this year. It's 10 yards longer. And that's really the only change on the scorecard that they've published. A couple players said that they've seen some of the greens resurface, but they don't feel like they've changed how they break too much. So, it is what it is. I mean, it doesn't seem like anything has been done under the cover of darkness that really changes the golf course. So it should be pretty similar to last year.
Well, I mean, that's 7th, or the 7-iron that Rory hit on 15.
Oh God!
I mean, just one of the greatest golf shots you'll ever see. I mean,
no doubt.
Just under those conditions and with everything that's on the line, he's a hole and a half away of where he hits it into the creek. I mean, it was unbelievable. Yeah, that hole and the shoot on 18. Where they're on teeing that up with all those magnolia trees down the right side, Moose, and you're staring at those bunkers. Yeah.
It starts so daunting, but then it kind of ends simple in a way, right? Like, I love the way it looks when you don't have triple decker grandstands closing a hole, right? It just frames differently when you see these guys coming up. It looks so uphill at some points. Yeah, but Rom talked about it. He's like, we can be out here and prepare all we want, but he talked about a shot he had. He's like, I had a shot today, fairly easy kind of pitch, could get a little lob wedge under it. He goes, tomorrow that shot will be completely different. The grass will be all the way down. I won't be able to get a club under it. Where I'm shooting to changes. So, I mean, it's so nuanced and changes on a daily basis for these guys that it just makes it, what it is. Like, the greatest event in our game.
Yeah. And that rough's only, about an inch and a half?
Yeah. I mean, next to nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it might as well not be. I mean, I wish they actually got rid of it, but all right, fine. But just the intrigue that when we know with the sub-air systems, Augusta can do what they want. They can pump the water in. They can take the water out. They can make it more receptive or not. And all the players know that. That's got I think that's the most interesting thing of all of this is the players know Augusta can do whatever they want in these conditions to make the golf course easier or harder, but they're not going to tell you and you'll find out, when you get out there kind of thing.
Wow.
That and there's no other golf tournament in the world, at least that I hear about, that players talk about the right misses as much as this one. Knowing where to miss, being in the right spot when you get it wrong is so important out there to set you up to maybe get up and down. Otherwise, you miss in the wrong spot, you're out of position. You're looking at bogey or worse guaranteed. It's just trying to figure out how much pain you're going to feel. I
really wish I knew where I was going to miss it.
That'd be helpful.
It would.
Wow, I can't believe I missed it there. That's a new one.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about who's going to be getting a new piece for the wardrobe. When we look at our friends at BetParx and look at the leader at the board, like I said, it jumped out at me just where Rory is. I actually went with our guy Rosie in the one and done.
Okay.
He's saying all the right things. He's in the best shape. I watched a little bit of him walking. Marty Smith had a great piece with him, playing a hole with him. But I do also have a feeling, if not Rosie, I kind of think it's going to be a live guy. You look where Rahm is, where Bryson is, even look at Terrell Hatton, where he plays. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be, and Harry, I know we can't call him a live guy anymore, but I know you're on the Patrick Reed train for sure.
Yeah, I'm taking Reed. I think I said this to you guys after he won his second event on the DP World Tour way back in January, February, whenever it was. And then he also got a runner-up. He leads the Order of Merit. They still call it the Order of Merit, Ryan?
Oh, it's the Race to Dubai, but it's still the Order of Merit, technically.
Yeah. But he's got a terrific short game. He's won here before. Nobody's going to get that guy to back down from anything. I mean, he's got the ultimate chip on his shoulder. He feels like he could be the number one player in the world. Like he's got that kind of attitude. And I know that's what, part of what rubs people the wrong way with him a lot of times, but I'm taking Reed. Minwoo Lee is a guy I really like in the top. I'm going to take top 20 on him. I'm not going to go crazy. But Bobby Mack too is a guy I think could win it. Top 10. What was he, around 2 plus 240 plus 250 on a top 10. Akshay Bhatia too, I think is going to have a really good week. And Xander Schauffele kind of running below the radar. A top American at plus 960. I might take a bite out of that. And what was the other one? Maybe that was it. Oh, do you guys pay attention to these power rankings they put out? I think PGAtour.com puts them out every week for every tournament. And usually when you look at them, they kind of run, especially when Scotty's playing and the big guns are playing, they kind of run similar to what the Vegas board is or BetParx, you name it. Not this week. The number one power ranked guy is Matt Fitzpatrick, okay? And Scotty comes in at 12th in the power rankings. Bryson, 10th. They have Ludwig second, Xander third, and Cameron Young and Fleetwood rounding out the top 5. Rahm and Rory 6 and 7. I found that to be really interesting, not for what it's worth, because when you look at the favorites, it's like Scotty, Rahm, DeChambeau, and then Rory, right? Typical, on these boards. It's kind of very opposite, which I thought was interesting and might lend itself to this theory that I know a lot of guys are rolling out there that it's the most wide open it's been in years. Do you buy into that, Ryan? Wide open.
I mean, wide open in that Scotty and Rory might lose. Yeah, I guess. Scotty might not be the automatic guy to win. Sure.
Right.
I guess that makes it wide open. Rob Bolton, who does that stuff for PGAtour.com, is a great thinker through all of this stuff. And I'm on the Fitzpatrick train. I get it. He has a bunch of top 20 finishes in this tournament. Obviously won Tampa, got close to the Players. Feels like his short game's in a really good place. The cross-handed chipping thing seems to work for him.
Yeah.
Have you tried it? Have either of you guys tried it? I have.
I accidentally did in a PGA Tour Superstore the other day. But it was with
Did you see the kid crosshand driving earlier this week?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There's a guy on the Korn Ferry Tour who actually does that. And I saw last year the Korn Ferry Tour Championship. It's freaky.
That's all I need is more stuff to try.
310 yards. But I do have the theory that this is Jon Rahm's time again. The best player in the world in terms of strokes gained. Yes, I know it's Liv. Yeah, I know he's playing like against three guys that matter, but he's still playing really, really good golf. He likes this place clearly. It just seems to kind of make sense. So he's my one and done guy. I think Xander's a great pick. I tend to just pick outrights. I like Xander a lot. T3, T4 in his last two starts. He's finally kind of starting to put it together. He obviously loves playing here. He's been close so many times in this tournament.
Yet nobody's really talking about him.
Right. He's so under the radar.
Yeah.
The most under the radar guy always is Hideki. And if he's on, everybody's dead. Right.
Yeah.
It's like when he's on, it's like, good luck. You're not beating that guy.
And then I like Min Woo Lee a lot. There's a statistic that I run out a lot, which is 19 of the last 21 Masters champions. So Hideki and Patrick Reed don't fit this, but Hideki was close. Averaged 1.5 strokes gained per round in the first 3 months of the year leading into the Masters. There are 12 guys who fit that criteria this year. There are some you can knock out for different reasons. Jacob Bridgman's one of those. He's a first-timer, right? We haven't had a first-time winner since 79. Colin Morikawa is at the bottom of that list. He's number 12. His back sounds like it's not good, and he can barely hit the ball straight long enough to even reach some fairways. So I think you'd run him out. But then you've got your classic kind of culprits, Rahm and DeChambeau and Scotty and Rory. Matt Fitzpatrick's on there. Cameron Young's on there. Those guys make sense. Cam Young hits the heck out of the ball. He's vastly improved his putting, which is so important here. You can't three-putt more than once in this tournament or you lose.
And he could tie those irons in there to those pin positions too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he's got the game to be able to win this golf tournament. Min Woo's on that list. Akshay's on that list. Nikolai Højgaard's on that list, interestingly enough. So, but, I still like Xander because he just hasn't had quite the start to the year that you would expect for a guy who's won a couple majors. And then my long shot is Corey Connors. He's been playing well his last 2 times out. He loves Augusta. He's played well here 3 of the last 5 times. In the top 15, he's about 100-1. So if it's wide open and you actually believe that, then put your money where your mouth is and go bet a guy who might be a total long shot.
How do you think Goddard does it?
I was just going to ask the same question. Yeah.
So many people are all over him.
I know. That's what worries me.
It's kind of scary.
I get it. He had a great start to the year, and you go, okay, well, he was 45-1 or 50-1 to win, and he's won twice, but that's kind of petered out a little bit over the course of the Florida swing. So did you peak too early? And now everyone's on you because they remember the first part of the year, and you still got good odds. I think he can play it. I don't think he's overmatched or can't play Augusta National or a bad fit. I think he's kind of been overtaken by a couple of better players, and this might be a little too early to ask that.
What about
curious to see JT? What do you think JT does? You think he top 10s? You think he plays well here?
I was talking to a buddy last night. He's like, I think I want to take JT to win. And I mean, there have been times where I thought this is inevitable. He just likes this place. He loves golf history. He loves kind of the panache of the Masters, that kind of thing. I just don't know where he is physically. And that's kind of hard to put my own money on something like that, where you can't know for sure what he's going to do. Kind of like the Morikawa thing. If I knew Morikawa was going to be normal and healthy and under good circumstances, I would bet him way above I would ever bet JT. So it's kind of hard for me to say, okay, let's go bet Justin Thomas.
Yeah. it's almost like every time you see a piece on someone, you're like, oh, well, they could do
Yeah,
it. Right.
right.
You kind of have to like block it all out and just, cause I mean, it's, you got guys like Cantlay at 5,000, right? Shane Lowry at 5,000, Terrell
Day.
Hatton, who we talked about. Right. It's just, there's so many people, but it is a top of the board kind of play. And, I keep going back to Bryson. I know how much he wants it. I know how much he's probably studied this. Can he just keep his mind straight and not worry about building his own irons and drivers and just play the golf course? I don't know.
When I heard him yesterday talking about building his own irons, like, what are you doing? What is going on here? That, and then the whole thing about when he won in South Africa and got emotional and said, I can't really talk about why. I want to know what that why is. Does that bother you enough to bother you every day or every once in a while? That's the only thing that really scares me is what's going on.
No one's really followed up with him on that, right? Like, I haven't heard it asked in the press
him yesterday. He's like, I can't. He literally shut it down because I can't talk about it. So what is that?
Right.
I mean, I know one of his investment vehicles bought a golf app called Sportsbox AI yesterday. I know that. Is that it? I mean, that can't make you sad and cry at a golf tournament. So, what is it? And how much is that looming over you? That's the only thing that really concerns me. That and the overthinking when it matters the most. And this is a place you're going to overthink, not think less.
I think he's still butthurt that Rory didn't talk to him during the final round last year. Imagine that. Like, man, he didn't talk to me. He's trying to win a golf tournament for the first time.
Like, what do you guys think? You're going to play tic-tac-toe and placemats between the holes? Like, this is the Masters, man. Like, let's go.
I love Bryson. Oh. I love how weird he is. The best.
A lot of mystery there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one for me that it just drives me crazy because I was such a fan is Cam Smith. I thought this guy was a generational talent. Was going to just like crush out there. I just loved his like style. He had the mullet rocking. And then just went to live and disappeared. But that game's in there, right? And if you want to make a statement and get it back at any point, it's like this would be the time to do it. And I'm always curious watching him in big moments.
I think he took the Dustin Johnson route of, hey, they gave me 9 figures. I don't ever have to do this again. I can go fishing and go hang out with my buddies. And that's pretty much what he's done. And every once in a while, he seems to get mad. That he's not as good as he was in 2022. Yeah. But then you can go lay on a bed that's a pile of money and go, well, I guess that wasn't so bad after all. But I mean, he does love the place. He's gotten close a couple of times to winning this thing. Yeah. And he's getting close to the end of that exemption for winning the 2022 Open. So,
right.
Make the most of it because you might not be coming back here for a long time.
Pretty comfortable group with him and Burns and Jake Knapp too. Mm-hmm. I think that's a low key, laid back group. I think that's good for him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it actually might be good for Jake Knapp. I mean, I know I mentioned him earlier. He's having a great year. Hopefully his injury isn't in a bad place, but it would probably help a guy like that who's having a great year to have a pretty chill group for the first couple of days.
Yeah.
I'd like to see our boy Nico do well here too, Harry.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
Well, it's all in front of us. Now it's just a matter of getting to the actual golf. Speaking of actual golf, Ryan, I know you're not playing in Myrtle Beach, but where's the game right now? You getting out there a lot? What's happening?
It's okay. I made a big swing change last year. I've always been a flipper. I've always kind of flipped at impact, and I wanted to get away from that. And I'm not saying I don't flip, but I flip way less and just make so much better contact with the ball than I ever have. And I think that's really fun. 3 decades into playing golf that I can get a little bit better, and it's helped scoring somewhat a little bit. Handicap's still good, still plus, not as low as I've ever been, but I'm happy with it. And it's kind of fun to go out there and just go, okay, you can pretty much keep it in front of you. Like I don't have to worry about the left or the right side of the golf course as much. Just go out there, hit some greens, and maybe you shoot under par, maybe you don't, but the mystery is probably half the fun of golf. And sometimes it kind of gets dull, when you just keep hitting it in front of you. I kind of miss being able to blast it on rolls over and go, oh, well, let's see if we can get out of this one a little.
Yeah.
So maybe we sprinkle in a couple of bad ones, but No, I love golf because you can always get better, and you can also always get worse, but you can always get better. And still trying to learn things, still trying to get better at golf.
Any fun trips? Any bucket list items coming up in your world?
No, I mean, I'll be up your guys' way for the PGA Championship, which is
nice.
very exciting. I'm really happy about that. Spent a couple of days up there. Going to go. The Golf Association of Philadelphia has a media day. Going to play in that, and
we will be. Is that the Jeffersonville one?
Yep, I'll be there with you.
We will be there. We'll be doing the show from there. We think so.
So that's super exciting.
That's awesome.
It's really cool to have that in the region. I know DC, Maryland aren't quite Philadelphia, but it's good enough for me. To be in the region. So that's really, really cool. And then I'll try to get down to Aiken probably by the end of May and go play Old Barnwell and try to check out a couple other clubs in the area. Try to get down there 4 or 5 times a year, but it's a special place. I mean, golf.com did a great video on how Aiken golf has grown in the last 5 years or so. And I normally don't recommend the competition, but it's well worth a watch. It's really, really nicely done.
How did you get rid of the flipping? Was there a training aid you used, or did you go take a lesson, or how'd you do it?
Honestly, by total mistake, Harry. So I used to get in a position where I would get down toward impact and I would try to get the hands in front of the ball and then flip it to impact. And I would kind of hold my hands parallel to the ground. Instead, I kind of changed the plane of it and got it parallel to the pad where I want to hit the ball. So I'm not flipping down. I'm just holding the angle to get to impact and just trying to keep the left hand as far in front of the ball as I can when I hit it, but keep my palm going toward the target instead of kind of away from the golf ball. Just by accident, just kind of working on the range, hit it. It was like, I really like the feel of that. And then that was with a wedge. I was like, all right, well, let's try to do it with other irons. And, my kids make fun of me because I keep trying to rehearse it to myself. Like, don't forget how to do this. Don't forget how to do this.
Muscle memory. Yeah,
exactly. They're like, why are you practicing your swing in Costco? I'm like, I can't forget this. I need to remember this. But yeah, it's been a good thing. And, talk about high school golf coaching. It's been really cool to have to explain to kids how stuff works.
Yeah.
Because then it makes you think about how does it work.
Right.
And that has made me such a better player, just having to explain to somebody else, this is why I do this. And this is why it works. And then next time I got to think about it, go, oh, that is why it works. You should hit this shot.
Yeah. No doubt. Harry, you getting out there? What do we got planned? I know I'm getting out to Legacy Club at some point this weekend. But
yeah, I'll be walking probably 9 holes with the bag over my back tomorrow afternoon, and then we have an opening day tournament on Saturday morning, which I was an alternate. I put myself in late after they shut it down, but I've already gotten in. So I'm playing there Saturday morning, and then I'm playing with 2 1 handicaps and a 5 handicap on Sunday morning early, so I can get home in time to get ready for the final round of the Masters. But that'll be interesting. 3 really good players.
All right, good.
What's your handicap these days, Harry?
Well, let's not talk about that.
I was hoping you were going to say I'm like a 6 now.
No. I was hoping that too.
Slowly but surely, we're both going to get there, Harry. We're both going to get there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. Make sure you're checking out Golf News Net. Everything in the world of golf delivers it in the best possible way. So we appreciate your time. Looking forward to checking in with you and seeing you when you're up here very soon. Excited to see you when you're up.
Thanks so much for having me. This was a blast, and hopefully everyone cashes zillions of dollars, and we have a great week on Sunday.
Let's go. All right, Masters are here. Check it out. We'll be back next week.